All right. Looks like things are about to get started. Once everything is set up, I will get going here. All right, here we go. Things are live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Zoom. We've got people showing up. Things are going well. How's everyone doing? Shane Werthner from Athletistry PT. Tonight, we're going to be doing the weight loss mindset webinar. I hope everyone is excited about this. It's going to be awesome. A lot of fun stuff coming up. I'm just going to start recording in a minute. I just want to welcome everybody, find out where everyone's coming from. If you're coming in live, write down where you're coming from, where you're joining in from, where you guys are tonight, this morning, what you're up to. Wherever you are around the world, let me know that you're here. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know how excited you all are. This is going to be fun, guys. Got a lot of cool stuff planned for this webinar, a lot of information coming at you. Just give it a couple more minutes for people to sign on. Who's excited, guys? Who's excited? All right. All right, let's jump into this here. Here we go. All right, let's see how this is working. Just making sure that everything is coming up all right here. See what's going on. All right, guys, how is everyone doing tonight? Welcome to Finding the Weight Loss Mindset. Let me just get this up and going here on 1 second. Things are a little bit strange. Hit record in 1 second here. All right, let's do this. Cool. Here we are. All right, if everyone can see my screen, just let me know. Comment on the post. Let me know that you can see everything. Let me know that everything is coming across loud and clear, that you can hear me. Let's just make sure we're in here. Make sure everything is going well. Tonight, welcome to Finding. Cool. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Finding the Weight Loss Mindset, presented by me, Shane Werthner from Athletistry PT. I am super excited to dive into the 5 things that are holding you back from smashing your goals. All right. There are so many things that we try to achieve and so many things that we try to work on and move forward with weight loss, with fitness, with nutrition, with mindset, that I wanted to really start with how weight loss might be holding you guys back today. But before we jump into the good stuff, what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about where I'm coming from, what my background is. For those of you who don't know me, who haven't been following my journey so far, just to give you a little bit of background on where I'm coming from and who I am as a person, as a coach, and what my upbringing was really. So here we go. So I started my let's see here. Oops. I started my journey as a ballet dancer 25 years ago. 5 years old. My dad wanted me to be coordinated, and so he put me into all kinds of different movement genres. I did gymnastics. I did martial arts. I did ballet. Musical theater. I was performing or doing something every day of the week. I was always active, and slowly, one by one, as I got older, each of those kind of dropped off, and ballet became my main thing. I went to a ballet high school from the ages of 12 to 18, and then started my career as a professional ballet dancer at the age of 18 in Vienna, Austria. Danced there for 7.5 years. I have danced all around the world. I've danced with San Francisco Ballet, Queensland Ballet on 3 continents, in multiple different countries on many different stages with amazing people. But as I'm sure most of you know, ballet can't last forever. We have to do something else eventually, because the body doesn't stay healthy enough to keep that up. So after about 12 years of dancing professionally, my knees decided they were done. They gave out, and I had to move into something else. And towards the end of my career, I had kind of discovered that mentoring and coaching and helping people was something I was passionate about. And I had to figure out a way that I could meld that passion with something that I could do to actually provide that coaching, provide that help to other people. And so personal training was the next step for me. And I became a personal trainer certified in May of 2018. So I am fresh to the industry, but it's something that I'm very passionate about, and I've seen a lot of success. A lot of people have gotten fantastic results with me. I've changed a lot of lives, and even looking into some of these pictures here, we've got Anthony, one of my former clients, actually won $10,000 last year in the Snap International Challenge. I've had multiple clients lose over 10 kilos, change their lives, drop their blood pressure, develop new levels of energy and fitness and mindset. And it's really been an amazing experience for me, because not only have I been able to help people, but I actually feel like through coaching, I've discovered so much about myself. And a lot of what I've seen and what I've worked with people is on mindset, because when it really comes down to it, it's those things that we do unconsciously that kind of hold us back, right? So as you can see here, this topic, you can see my transformation over the past 52 days. If you guys have been following along, I've been doing a 75 hard challenge where I'm reading 10 pages of a book every day. I'm 2 and 2 workouts. I'm drinking 3.5 liters of water, and obviously taking a progress picture every day. And it's really been something where I wasn't expecting to have the kind of change that I've had. But what it's done to me is not even, yes, physically you can see that there's been a change there, but the actual mindset change that I've had, the way that I approach my life, the way that I approach every day, is completely different to what it was 52 days ago. So without any further ado, what I'm going to do, we're going to jump into this now, guys. I'm sure you've heard enough of my story. Let's do this. Let's get into it. All right. Who's excited? Who's excited, guys? Drop some stuff in the chats. Let me know what you're feeling, what you're thinking. Let me know what's going on for you guys. How excited are you? How excited are you? I want to hear it. Let me know what's going on. You excited? Who we got on Facebook today? Thanks for joining in, guys, on Facebook. We got Fiona, we got Carolyn, Emrys, Marie-Claire. Thank you, Marie-Claire, for joining in. I love you. Talia, Katrina, Krista. All right. Here we go. Let's go back in here. Where are we? Let's go here. All right, guys. Who's ready for this? Who's ready? Who's excited? Who's excited, guys? Excited? My mom's excited. All right, what we're going to cover in the next 45 minutes. We got Luke on. Luke's trying to cook. Good, perfect. This is going to help you, Luke. All right, what we're going to cover over the next 45 minutes. First of all, we're going to get into the history of weight loss, because weight loss does go back 2,300 years. People have been dieting for over 2 millennia. This is nothing new. The mindset behind diet is nothing new. People have been doing this for a long time, and people are still struggling with it. So we're going to dive into a little bit of that. The next part of that is why you keep yo-yoing. So I'm sure if you have tried a diet, even if you have lost weight, if you have made a change in the past, you've probably found that you got to that weight that you wanted, and then you went back to where you were before you started, or even worse, were more unhealthy after that process. We're going to go into the five mindset aspects of what is happening and why you might not be able to achieve weight loss, and why actually weight loss is probably not the right thing for you to be looking at. And then, of course, the reason you're all here is some free stuff. Who wants free stuff? Hands up, guys. Who wants free stuff? Who wants free stuff? I feel like people would like free stuff, but they're just not letting me know. No, I know there's a bit of a delay, so that's all right. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the history of weight loss. So here we are. History of weight loss. Dieting has been around for over 2,300 years. It started in Greece. There were a lot of, when we look back at where it came from, the word diastasia, meaning a sensible, moderate, and dutiful way of living. And originally it had no specific reference to food. So people back then, they thought, you know what, I have certain tasks that I need to follow, certain things that I need to do that will make my way of living good and honorable and feeling like I can be successful. And they did it in such a way that they chose the aspects of their life that they needed to do. They made a decision about those aspects of life, and then they followed through with them to get certain results. Yeah. Now, fast forward 2,000 years, the wellness and dieting industry is an $80 billion industry. A lot of money is made every year selling weight loss pills, selling diets, selling this workout, that workout. Let's only eat carbs. Let's only eat protein. All kinds of crazy stuff that people are doing. That they're all struggling. They're not. People aren't getting results. And that's what I've heard. So I've spoken to hundreds of people over the past year that come to me, and every time, I guarantee almost every time that someone has come to me, it's always been, I want to lose 5 kilos. I want to lose 10 kilos. I want to tone. I want to see this body change. I want to see that body change. But probably with the exception of maybe a handful of people, the amount of people that have actually said to me, I want more energy, or I want more confidence in that first meeting, almost no one has said that to me. And that's really what we're going to dive into today is where your mindset is around weight loss, and why looking at weight loss isn't what you should be doing. Yeah. All right, here we go. Why do you keep yo-yoing? Who let me know, guys. How many of you have yo-yoed in the past? Yeah. How many of you have seen, tried a diet, taken on a diet, and haven't been successful with it? Or have been successful with it, gotten down to your ideal weight, and even after getting there, have seen that you just went, you went back and you started eating the foods that weren't good for you, or what do we got? Got Cindy, yeah, Amanda. So Amanda's one of my clients. And obviously, she's definitely there. She's been feeling that before. She's seen that in the past, things haven't been successful for her. So, trying to bring all that together. One of the main reasons why you yo-yo, you set your goal as weight loss, and as soon as you hit that goal, so what happens is you set this place in your mind. And you say, I know that I want to be 10 kilos lighter. I want to drop 5 kilos, whatever your weight loss goal is. And you start exercising, and you start eating what you feel is healthy, generally in a restrictive sense. So you start to think, okay, well, I need to not eat that food, or I need to exercise 6 times a week and not take any rest days, and I need to make sure that I'm doing cardio for 45 minutes every day at high intensities. And you start doing all these things that your body actually doesn't like, and eventually, you see the results, because your calorie intake goes down, your calorie output goes up. You're doing everything that your body kind of requires in order to lose weight, but you've done it in such a way that your subconscious brain wasn't on track with it. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But what happens is you set that goal, you hit that goal, and you say, well, I'm good now. I lost my 10 kilos. I feel good. Now I can go back to what I was doing before. So I can start eating some cakes, and I can start eating some cookies. I don't have to exercise 3 times a week because I feel good. I look good, right? Essentially what's happened is the decision to make that change hasn't been strong enough. Okay. So what's happened is you said, I'm going to get to 10 kilos. I'm going to lose those 10 kilos. And when I get there, life's going to be good. And the subconscious is saying, okay, well, I'll do it until then, but once I'm there, I'm not going to do it anymore. We're going back to what we were doing, because the habits that you've built up until that point are so strong that it's not going to let you keep going with that intensity, with that restriction on your body. All right. The other possibility here, and this happens a lot, is that weight loss isn't actually your goal. All right. So you may be thinking, oh, well, if I am 10 kilos lighter, I will have more confidence. I will be able to take my shirt off at the beach. I will be feeling really good about myself afterwards. But what ends up happening is that you get to that point and you realize that it wasn't actually what was going to make you happy. What was actually going to make you happy was being able to spend more time with your kids and run around with them, or being able to walk into work and have the energy to do your work and not be exhausted at the end of the day. Those are the things that actually have a long-term effect on being able to stay successful. And if you're not getting to that weight loss and seeing those results and seeing that outcome, seeing that mental improvement, your subconscious is just going to say, well, why did we put in all this work? Why did we do all this effort if I'm not actually feeling better about myself, feeling better about my mindset? And so what happens is the body just says, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. It's too much effort. It's too much work. I felt just as bad eating the bad food about myself, but I actually enjoyed the food. So I'm going to go back to doing that. Or the exercise is too tough. So, I'm just going to go back and lie on the couch. All right. So those are all things that tend to come up when we're looking at yo-yoing and why that happens. So let's dive into it. What are the 5 things that I've identified? If you guys are excited about this, I want you to drop some comments. Let me know what you're excited about. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to dive into the 5 holdups and the 5 things that are keeping you from smashing those goals. All right. Who's excited, guys? Let me know in the comments. I know you're just hanging out for the free stuff, right? All right. So here's the thing. Weight loss isn't actually your goal, right? Just like I was just saying, weight loss is the healthy side effect when lifestyle change is applied. Weight loss is something that, if you need to lose weight, will happen when you start to exercise that's in a way that's good for you, when you start to make choices that uphold your values, when you start to eat the foods that support your body. All right. Now, I've spoken to hundreds of people over the past 2 years as a trainer, and many of them needed to improve their fitness and eating and lifestyle and their work environments, and even to the point of it being a health issue. But what really happens is no one makes changes. No one makes changes unless the place that they're coming from, the pain that they're experiencing, is greater than the pain it's going to take to make the change. Okay, so no one is ever going to take that step to change their life unless the pain that they're currently experiencing is greater than the pain it takes to make that change. All right, now I've seen a lot of people come to me and say, oh, if I just have a program, I'll do it. And what happens is they get the program, they come in, they work for 3 days, they work for 3 weeks, and then they don't do it. They do maybe 1 session or maybe 2 sessions, and then they drop off those 2 sessions. They just do 1 session, they drop off the 1 session, and 6 weeks later, they're exactly where they started, because they haven't identified that the weight loss isn't their goal. They haven't identified what it's going to take for them and made a clear decision in their minds as to what it's going to take for them to get to where they want to go. Weight loss, like I said, weight loss is a healthy side effect. It's what we want to have happen if we're overweight, obviously. It's what we want to have happen when healthy lifestyle change is applied. But, would you guys agree? Let me know. Would you guys agree that if you're feeling more energy, if you're able to play with your kids, if you're feeling confident in your own skin, you're feeling like the clothes that you're wearing fit you better, you're feeling like you enjoy your food, and you actually have the food that you eat actually gives you more energy and fuels you for the day, and actually makes you excited instead of making you lethargic and tired and stressed. Would you be more motivated to get to that person, or to get to someone who's saying, I just want to lose 10 kilos? right? Habits are hard to change. And this is something that, you know, Marie-Claire just wrote. Habits are hard to change. You know, when we look at habits can take up to 8 months to change. There's a great example I can give you guys right now. There's a guy who it's a story called The Backward Bicycle. He redesigned how the bicycle rides. And so when you turn the steering to the right, the wheel would go to the left. When you turn it to the left, the wheel would go to the right. And what happened was for 8 months, he was trying to teach himself to ride this bicycle, and it was not working. He'd get on the bicycle, he'd drive like three meters and fall over. Yeah. After, like, within those 8 months, so he kept doing it, it didn't work. And he got to this point where he was about to give up, and then all of a sudden it worked. And he could ride the bicycle, the backwards bicycle. But it took him 8 months to get to that point. Now he had an idea of like, okay, well, now that I can ride this bicycle, I've rewired my brain. I've changed the way that my brain learns. I've changed that kind of value in the brain, right? What happens if I go onto a normal bicycle? And he went onto a normal bicycle and he rode it and it fell over, and he rode it and he fell over. But within 2 weeks, his brain had swapped back. Okay, so it's very easy to change back to where you came from. It's very hard to create habits that are going to last and stay with you, that are actually a change to your background, to where you come from, to your meta programs, to those really base values in your brain. And so if you haven't come up with healthy eating, with fitness, with lifestyle that's going to support you in a healthy sense over the years, and what's been bombarded at you is lose weight, what's going to happen is that's going to be the struggle for you. It's always going to be a struggle, and you have to create awareness around that. All right. Now, this is something that I myself have struggled with, even as a professional ballet dancer. We don't eat necessarily the best foods. Our schedules aren't perfect. We're dancing from early in the morning, often until late at night, trying to get as much energy as possible, just to uphold the intense amount of work that we're doing. And so a lot of cookies and cakes and chocolate and stuff gets piled into our bodies, and it keeps us energized. And because we're working at such a high level, we don't look like we're unhealthy. But if you were to actually peel away all of the skin and the muscle and see what's going on inside, you'd probably find that most ballet dancers struggle with health overall. And you get to this point where you start to say to yourself, because you're eating food that isn't necessarily good for you, you say, well, it's been a stressful day. You know, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Oh, what have I got in the cupboard? Oh, not much, but there is that ice cream. Man, that ice cream looks good. Ice cream, I love it. And I'm going to treat myself because I worked really hard today. I did a really good rehearsal, or I got the boss's approval, or whatever the case may be, or maybe even like it was a really stressful day. I'm really tired. I don't know what to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat something, and it's going to be a treat. It's going to be a treat. I'll just treat myself. But what happens is we sit down and we start watching some TV. And before we know it, the entire packet of cookies or the entire tub of ice cream is gone. And we don't even realize it because the calories aren't recognized by our body. Our body has eaten those, it's taken in that food, but it's not created in such a way that our body recognizes it as food. So we can finish the whole tub of ice cream and still be hungry. And so what else have we got? Because that's already gone. Maybe I can have something else. And before you know it, you've had the tub of ice cream, you've had the cookies, and you've had all this other stuff. And it's all been put into your brain value-wise. You created this belief in your mind that the food is actually a treat. And you're treating yourself. You're making yourself feel good. And so you create this emotional connection to the food that you're eating, right? And it becomes a bit of an obsession. And so what happens is when unhealthy food is looked at like a treat, and like it says here, you know, it causes an obsession with that food. So you go into the grocery stores, and the entire grocery store, with the exception of the produce section and the meat section and perhaps some of the dairy, is all full of sugar. It's all that treat food, and buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And so you walk into the grocery store, it's bombarding you. You drive down the street, you're being bombarded. The world does not make it easy for you to live a healthy lifestyle. And because of that, because we're constantly being subconsciously bombarded with eat that food, eat that food. It's like Alice in Wonderland. You know, she's going through Wonderland. She's like, drink me, eat me. Yeah, but what we don't realize is that you drink me, heart disease, eat me, diabetes, right? And so we create this unconscious connection with food of that's going to make me feel better, and we don't realize that we've become obsessed with being unhealthy. And so now let's take this back a step, right? We take this back a step and we look at how we approach our goals. And consciously we're saying, I want to lose 10 kilos. Subconsciously we're saying, but I have an obsession with sweets, and I have an obsession with unhealthy foods. I have an obsession with that bliss food that just has that perfect combination of fats and sugars that's actually going to make me more lethargic, less energetic, not wanting to work, and depressed, right? It's because we're not aware of it, right? That awareness is missing. Okay. So this brings me to probably one of the most powerful things when it comes to weight loss. All right. And that's the conscious versus the subconscious. So when we look at anything, when we look at any goal that we're trying to achieve, there's two parts to making it work, right? There's the will, and then there's the power. There's the conscious brain, and then there's the subconscious brain. Now, your conscious brain, it knows what it wants. It's like, you know what? I'm going to lose 10 kilos. I'm going to exercise 6 days a week. I'm going to be fit. I'm going to have abs. I'm going to be energetic. I'm going to get that promotion. It knows what it wants. And the subconscious brain is saying, ah! Right? Subconscious brain doesn't know what it wants, except that it knows it wants to be safe, and it wants to be comfortable, and it doesn't want to change. Yes. So you've got this battle going on, right? And what's going to happen is the subconscious brain is always going to win, because that's the one that's always running. Conscious brain isn't always running. So you go to sleep, your conscious brain isn't going. Your subconscious brain is saying, sugar, or I'm going to sleep in the morning. And your conscious brain is saying, no, but we need to work out. And it's in my schedule. Look, I've put it there. And the subconscious brain is saying, I don't care. Bed is comfortable. That's why it's so hard to turn off the alarm in the morning. It's why it's so hard to say no to that third bowl of ice cream or that chocolate bar, right? So if the two aren't aligned, you're always going to struggle to make a change. It's always going to be difficult to get to that point of change and growth in the direction you want to go. And there is a way to do it, and what that looks like takes time. All right, so you're not going to be able to just come in and say, you know what, I'm going to lose 10 kilos. Most people anyway. Some people are that driven, and they're that aligned with their values that they come in, they say, I'm going to lose 10 kilos, and they can do it, and they can follow through with it, and it becomes their lifestyle, and they never look back. That's like the 0.001% of the population that can actually do that, right? It takes a lot of time to get that ability. It takes a lot of time to grow into that aspect. But not everybody's able to do that. What do we got on what are people saying here? That's a good one. So one of the guys on Facebook just said, Luke, I make sure I have to get out of bed in order to turn off the alarm. So yeah, putting that alarm across the room can definitely help. That being said, if you have kids and the kids are still coming into your bed at night, putting it across the room could maybe wake them up. You know, there's always a question. That being said, you know, finding something that's going to force you into that, if you need that extra push, is going to help. But essentially what it really comes down to, I think this is the next slide. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's go into this. What it really comes down to is that consciously we start to expect instant results, right? Because in order to appease our subconscious and say, well, I need to feel good. I need to get to where I want to go. I need to see that change and that weight loss. What ends up happening is our brain says, well, if it doesn't happen soon, then we're going to go back to what we're doing to be comfortable, because I want to be comfortable. I don't want to change. I don't want to put too much into this because it might work, it might not work. I might fail. I might not get to that point, right? And so consciously we start to say, okay, well, if we're going to get there, then we better do it quickly because we have to appease our subconscious. Yeah. So the brain makes choices in 30-second windows, right? And every choice that we make, and I call these the 30-second choices, right? So when you make a choice and you've got these options, right? Okay, so let's say the option is going to the gym or going and sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. Consciously, you're saying to yourself, you know what? I know that if I go to the gym right now, I'm going to feel good afterwards. It's going to be tough. I have to get changed. Oh, I've got to get my gym bag. Oh, I forgot my shoes. Oh, you know what? I'll just do it tomorrow because I can just go home and watch Netflix tonight and I'm tired and I deserve a treat. Going back to that treat mentality, I deserve a treat. I've been working hard. I'm just going to go home and sit on the couch, right? The problem is that as soon as you make that choice, as soon as you make that easy choice for the comfortable solution within the next 30 seconds, what also happens is the guilt pops up, right? So the guilt pops up in your brain and you start to feel slightly guilty, subconsciously guilty about it. And every time from that point on, the more that you do that, the more that you make that choice that's not going to align with what your conscious wants to do, you're going to create guilty associations. And you start to create guilty associations with what should be good habits. And so every time you create a guilty association with it, you actually start to feel worse about it. Who here has ever started to feel panicked when they think about going to the gym? Has anyone ever started to feel panicked? I know that I've had people tell me about this, that they have fear of going to the gym or they have panic around it. They're afraid of what other people are going to think. Who's experienced that? Let me know in the comments, guys, if you've experienced that feeling of panic when you go into the gym or fear of what other people are going to think. Because what happens is as soon as you start to create guilt and that kind of guilty association with things, you start to fear the guilt subconsciously. You start to fear that sensation. So you don't even you even start to forget about the gym. And gyms love that, by the way. The gyms love the fact that you're paying them and not showing up. That's their bread and butter. The people who pay the gym fees and don't show up. So if you're paying gym fees right now, make sure you're going, because at least you're pissing off the gym, right? No, but in all seriousness, when you start looking at it this way, you start to fear the gym, and your body will then almost instantaneously choose the easy option because it's going to make it feel comfortable. The subconscious, like I said, the subconscious is in control of your choices. It's got the power. It's got the power to move you in a direction, whereas your conscious brain has the will. Okay, so if your will is associated with guilt and fear and discomfort, what's going to happen is your mind is going to say, no, don't do that. Let's just do the things that make us comfortable and make us feel good. And so when it comes to making change, your body says no, I'm not going to do that because it is uncomfortable. Why should I put myself in a place of fear? Why should I put myself in a place of guilt? I've created this whole association around the gym as being a place that's going to be a negative mindset for me, a negative place for me. And what happens is you don't then exercise. The same thing goes for food. You go into a grocery store, for example, and you know that you should be picking up fresh produce and meats that you can go home and cook, but you're tired. And so instead of doing that, you go into the frozen section, you pick up some frozen food, you go home, you put it in the microwave. And while you're in the frozen section, you're being bombarded with ice cream and frozen pies and all kinds of other yummy, beautiful foods, right? And so what happens is you say, oh, I'll just get some of that and I'll get some of that and I'll take that home too. And you go home and by the time you get home, you're exhausted, you pop it in the microwave, you eat some ice cream, you fall asleep in front of Netflix and you wake up on the couch and you're exhausted and you don't know how you got there, basically, right? Now, what you've done by going in and getting the easy solution, again, is you've created a discomfort or a fear around cooking. And so changing your food becomes complicated because instead of it being something where you're preparing and you're planning and you're measuring out your meals, you're saying, oh, that's too hard. That's too difficult. I feel guilty about that now. I have a fear of cooking because it's not easy to do and it takes more energy and I'm not going to be able to treat myself, right? So all of those associations with good food are actually holding you back from the weight loss you desire, right? All of that being said, comfortable choices, right? Comfortable choices will not get you the results you want. Uncomfortable choices often lead to glorious results. Okay, so if you start going to the gym and it's uncomfortable, it will probably be uncomfortable for a little while. You start going to the gym, you start seeing results, 3, 4, 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months. You start to see those changes. You know, I go back to the photo of myself, or look on my profile and see the changes that I've made in 50 days. You start seeing those changes, and you know, Cindy just said too many mirrors. You start seeing in the mirror the body that you want. You're going to start creating positive associations with it, right? You start going to the grocery store and you try one day. You just say, you know what? No, I'm going to buy some food. I'm going to prep it. You prep it, and all week you come home and you've got fresh meals to eat because you prepped your entire week. You put it into the fridge. You come home that night and it's like, I don't have to go to the store and buy frozen food because I've already got the food in my fridge. I've already got that healthy food that I can put in the microwave and eat, and it's going to be healthy. And I know I'm going to feel good about it. I know it's going to taste good, and I'm excited to eat it. Yes. Right? And you start to create positive associations, but it takes a bit of time, and the initial push is going to be uncomfortable. All right. So that's why, you know, when we look at any type of change, it takes time. You have to be patient, but being patient and being consistent, doing the same things every day that are getting you the results, identifying those things that are going to help you. Those are the things that we need to do that are going to get you to where you need to go. All right. Now, what happens when we start to do all that? Yeah. What tends to happen is people start out and they do quite well for a couple of weeks, maybe up to, you know, 6 to 8 weeks. They're doing really well. And then they start to see some results, and then things come up again. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but spread pretty evenly throughout the year are birthdays, Christmas, Easter, holidays with cakes and chocolate and goodies. And it's almost like, you start out the new year and you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm going to do everything right this year. I'm going to hit all my goals. I'm going to do all my resolutions. Everything's going to be great. And then you have a birthday party in March, right? And so you're 3 months in and it's like, oh, well, I can just go to the birthday party and I'll have some cake. It'll be all right. Or I'll have some alcohol. It'll be good. And then the next day you're tired after the party and you go to the grocery store and you pick up the frozen food. And then the next day you're not feeling energetic because you've eaten food that isn't helpful for your body. And so you're like, oh, do I need to go to the gym today? No, I won't go to the gym. And so by May, you've fallen off the wagon, right? You're not doing the things every day that are going to make you better. Okay. So that's why I suggest that everybody has a coach. I had a coach as a professional ballet dancer for years. We had multiple coaches that helped us and guided us and supported us. I've worked with multiple coaches since becoming a personal trainer. And look, there are different costs to coaches. I'm not here to sell you guys on anything tonight. What I'm saying is that you need to find someone who's going to support you, either a mentor, a coach, an accountability partner, someone to work with that's going to pick you back up when things get tough. All right, because it is incredibly difficult to make changes without support. You need to have those people there with you to help you and guide you. And yes, as Marie-Claire points out, Easter came in between that birthday party and that May fall off the wagon. So that probably even made it worse, because then you had lots of chocolate eggs and Cadbury eggs and chocolate bars. And I don't know about you guys, but chocolate always seems to find its way into the house at Easter time, even if you say, no, I'm not trying chocolate this year. Anyway. So yeah, it's incredibly hard to make changes without support, and a coach they'll first of all, they'll help you to become aware of the things, the excuses, the things that are holding you back, the blame on other people, the blame on life that's stopping you from getting your results. There's a handful of things that always come up as excuses. The first one is time, and to which I say there's 168 hours in the week. Everybody has 168 hours in the week. You've got people who are doing amazing things with those hours, and you've got people who are not doing anything. So the choice is yours. The decision is yours. The responsibility is yours. And as tough as that sounds, and as harsh as that sounds, at the end of the day, you decide your fate. No one else is coming up and saying, oh, you can't go to the gym. It's your choice. At the end of the day, it is always your choice to get in the car, put on your gym clothes, and go. It's always your choice what food goes into your mouth. Unless someone is holding a gun to your head and saying, eat this, it is your choice. And a coach will help you to identify what you need to do in order to get the results you want. They'll help you to stay accountable to yourself. They will help you to figure out exactly what you're doing at the moment that's holding you back. They will stop you from making excuses, and they will get you the results with the work that you put in. A coach will say, do this. You will say, okay, and you'll do it. Or you won't. But in that case, you probably either don't have a good coach, or you've not gotten to that point where the decision is strong enough and the why is strong enough for you to get the results at all anyway. All right. So what's the solution, guys? What do we do? Well, how do we solve this problem? How do we solve this problem of focusing on weight loss, focusing on the choices that aren't going to get us the results? How do we solve this problem of creating awareness? Well, the first thing that we need to do is make a decision, right? We have to make a decision to change. And that decision to change is the essential of everything. If you don't decide, it's not going to happen. If you don't say to yourself, no, tomorrow morning I'm waking up and I'm doing the right thing that I know I need to do, and whatever it takes to do that stuff until you get to the point that you want to be at. So, let's say that you even without a coach, you write down, okay, my 6-month plan, and you've identified what your 6-month plan is. You say, I want to be 10 kilos healthier in 6 months. I'm going to go to the gym a minimum of 3 times a week. I'm going to eat healthy foods at least 4 out of 7 days a week, 3 meals a day healthy. I'm going to, let's say, eliminate coffee, lower my dairy intake, and this is all going to happen by December 25th. All right, so you've created a very clear plan as to what you're going to do, and you've identified why you want to do it. And it can't be something like, I want to feel good, or I want to be healthy. It needs to be really, really specific. Like, I want to have more energy so that I can spend time with my daughter and take her to the park every day, and so that when she's in her 20s, I can still come to her wedding because I've survived long enough without heart disease or diabetes, because I've made the choices today that are going to set me up for the rest of my life. Right? This is what it takes. This, setting up, oh, I want to feel good, I want to have energy. That's not deep enough, guys. That's not going to get you where you want to go. You have to make the decision. You have to make it very specific, and you have to push yourself in that direction to get there. And you have to say to yourself every morning, I want to do this by this date because I want to be able to go to my daughter's wedding, run around with her every day, see her walk down the aisle, and provide for her as well. And you write that down every day. You write that down, you write that down, you write that down, you write that down, and you identify the tasks that you need to do in order to make that happen. Whatever they are, whatever those 5 tasks are, whether they're do better at work by doing X amount of things, whether it's drink 3 liters of water a day, whether it's go to the gym today, whether it's go for a walk, whether, it could be anything, but you need to identify what the things are that are going to get you to that result. Now, if you're struggling with that, speak with someone who can guide you or who has done it before. So if you know someone who's been on a weight loss journey, if you know someone who's changed their life, changed their lifestyle, put themselves in a position that's been a struggle and gotten to a goal that they set out to achieve, that they've achieved that goal, reach out to them. They're going to help you. They're going to support you because they're going to identify that you're trying to make those changes, and they want to do that. Even better, find someone who has expertise in exercise, nutrition, and mindset, because these things are not easy. We're constantly being bombarded subconsciously with images of health, but then we're constantly being bombarded with images of food and laziness and watch this and watch that and consume countless hours of media while not moving. The sedentary lifestyle is being bombarded on one end, and the exercise and be healthy mindset is being bombarded on the other. Consciously we're aware of the healthiness. Subconsciously we're just constantly being bombarded with that negative mindset of just have a treat, just sit on the couch, just watch Netflix. Yeah. And look, I love Netflix too. I watch Netflix as well, but I've also created a process for myself to stay healthy and fit. All right. Now, once you've identified what that why is, what those goals are, why you want to achieve it, how powerful that message is to yourself, that's when you're going to put yourself into that position of creating awareness around what you're doing. So you need to track everything. You have to track what food you're eating. You have to track how often you're drinking water. You have to track how often you're going to the gym. You have to track what exercises you're doing in the gym. You have to track what weights you're using. You have to track how often you're running. And the reason I say this is not to bombard you with lots and lots of tasks, but the reason why you're tracking it is so that 6 weeks down the road, when maybe not all the results you expected have come, but you've been consistent, you can look back at what you did the 6 weeks before. So, when I started this challenge, right, I couldn't run. I couldn't run for more than maybe 5 to 10 minutes at a time, and within 5 weeks, I was running for 30 minutes consistently. I was running a sub 30-minute 5-kilometer run, which is huge. This is the first time in my life I've ever been able to run a sub 30-minute 5-kilometer run, and I was a professional ballet dancer. Yeah, so I tracked it. I tracked every day. I tracked what I was doing. I found a way to keep myself accountable, to keep myself consistent. And I can look back on the past 50 days and say, wow, look at the changes, right? So that's why you track. You're not tracking because it's boring. You're not tracking because you have to do, certain things. Cindy, great to have you on here. I'm glad that you came. We will catch up soon. It's something that you have to figure out. You have to figure out what your patterns are. You have to figure out what your tasks are. You have to figure out what those things are in order to get you to that goal, and you have to track all of them. Here's a little tip for you, a little trick that I give to my paying clients. What you can do is write down a list, 5 things every day, the 5 most critical tasks that you need to use, and what you're going to do is tick them off every time you do one. By the time you've ticked off all 5 of them, you write a big W at the top of the page. You've won that day. Yeah, you do that 4 out of 7 days a week. You've won the week. You do that 3 out of 4 weeks in a month. You've won the month. You do that 7 out of 12 months in the year. You've done pretty damn well. You've probably done better than most people in the world. Okay, so little tip for you: give it a try, see if it works for you. I've had good feedback from a lot of people who have tried it in the past. All right. Hope everyone has enjoyed that so far. I've got one more thing for you. Well, actually 3 more things for you. Hope that you guys have enjoyed it so far. Have you enjoyed it? Who's excited? Should I give you the one more thing? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Should I go one more thing? What do you think, guys? Shall we do it? Got a like from Luke. Luke's enjoying this. Who's enjoying this, guys? Who's enjoying this? Who's enjoyed this webinar? Yeah. Have you enjoyed it so far? One more thing. All right, Markley, here we go. One more thing. Got some free stuff. All right, guys, got some free stuff. So what I want you to do, if you are interested in having some free stuff, Who doesn't love free stuff, right? I've got a 7-day Beachbody fitness plan. I've got a 7-day Beachbody meal planner, and I have 33 fat burning keto recipes that I would love to send your way. All you guys have to do is message me, send me a message with hashtag I'm in, and I will send whichever one you want. You just let me know which ones you want, and I will send you a link to get them to download the Beachbody fitness plan, the 33 fat burning keto recipes, and the 7-day Beachbody meal planner. Let me know what you guys are interested in. I would love to get these out to you. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this webinar. I know that I have enjoyed it a lot. I know it's been a lot of information. What I will do as well, for those who want it, I will send out a recording so that you can go back and watch it, see if there's anything that you missed, see if you can learn anything more. Also, coming in 2 weeks, my next webinar is coming up, the Great 8. Yeah, these are the secrets that the fitness magazines won't tell you about how to actually achieve the body you desire. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to jump into some of the exercises that are super important for your body. And I'm also going to talk about why the fitness industry hasn't been telling you about these exercises, why they're trying to make things overcomplicated, and how using the exercises properly and following a proper plan can actually get you where you want to go. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are too. I know it's going to be an exciting webinar. That's coming in 2 weeks. So Thursday in 2 weeks. I'm not sure what the date is, but I will be posting an event soon. What I need you guys to do is just jump onto that event once I've posted it and register so that I can get all of you a recording afterwards. I can't send out the recordings unless you guys register. I will be dropping the link to the event on this post once I get off of here, probably either tonight or tomorrow. Once I get that all set up, the link to the new webinar coming in 2 weeks will be up there, and you guys can jump on and check it out. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I know that I have enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun talking about mindset. I love this stuff. And I will see you all soon. Have an awesome day, guys. Awesome night wherever you are. And let's get this done. Send me a message also. Don't forget, send me a message, hashtag I'm in, and I'll get you out your 7-day Beachbody fitness plan, 33 fat burning keto recipes, and the 7-day Beachbody meal plan. All right, guys, this has been Shane Werther from Athletistry PT. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I will see you all soon. Have an awesome evening.